7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake. Farmer will put it up, throws over the middle. Poole, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
This one the other way. It's no going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
Sections A1 through Z. Walk down on the main concourse. Proceed out the nearest unobstructed exit on the north.
Attention to center court for the ringing of the victory bell. Congratulations, Sun Devils. Victory number 10. The best start ever for Sun.
And continue away from the arena. Fans who are seated in the upper row, sections A1 through Z, walk down onto the main common. Proceed out to the nearest unobstructed exit on the north.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Welcome into Mike. What day is it? Hump day. Woo, woo. Yep, got to fix the hat a little bit. Sorry. Yes, that's her mama. You know, every Wednesday we celebrate mom's favorite commercial, whatever, with my name in it. Except, like I said, with the old school, I don't know if you kids Googled it, but or YouTubed it, the old Life cereal commercials with Mikey likes it. Mikey will eat anything. And for the most part, to this day, outside of olives and onions, I know, the crazy adopted Italian, I will, I'm down with good food. But, yes, welcome into today's double Victory Wednesday edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caracino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You can check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Again, don't be bashful. You can also go to the wonderful world of IG and go to michael.caratinudo.5. Again, just add the dot between first and last name, and then after last name, .5. Bam, there you go on the IG. And yes, guys, YouTube. Go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, because guess what? Well, watch live. First of all, you watch live on YouTube, but also subscribe, because if you've missed any Pitchfork Lunch, and when I say that, I mean obviously season 1 and season 2, and now that we're well into season 3, again, you can binge watch season 1, then binge watch season 2, still watch season 3. So when we have certain interviews on, we'll get all caught up. So that will be very awesome, to say the least. Yeah, we can get all caught up. Oh, the hat. What is with anyway? All right, there we go. What? Fixing it on the fly, on the live there. Yeah. So go to YouTube again, and you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, as we call them here, as we're innovative and all that good stuff. But a plethora of insane con reviews. A plethora of phenomenal con reviews, whether it be, again, coaches, players, voices, alum, insiders, an athletic director who will be getting very soon. More players coming, a lot more coming. As again, we're going to be headed into spring sports, obviously winter sports, hoops going on right now as we know it. The double Victory Wednesday, like I said, the women go to 11-0, the men go to 8-2. But yes, you go to YouTube, and again, athletic director, we should be having very, very soon. It's all there. and you have missed it. So again, come back, go back to YouTube and subscribe. And again, forks up to the new subscribers. I greatly appreciate you. Yes, there's always forks up here on Pitchfork Lunch. But yeah, you can go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Creighton, but the page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe. Like I said, because again, there's so many awesome alum that we've had on. And again, like I said, voices, insiders, all of it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah, go check it out. And for those that have, again, you're here every day. Absolutely appreciate you. So again, don't be bashful. But yes, like I said, a double victory. We are going to start there because we're going to hear from Coach Hurley shortly. A double victory Wednesday as both Sun Devil hoops teams, the men and the women, won last night. The women 11-0. Do you realize that when they won the 10 games, Coach Miller started out 10-0. When they started out 10-0, they already matched last year's season win total. So now at 11, so everything is more. And you know what? Can Molly Miller have her magic and keep ripping off? I mean, she's no stranger to win streaks. I mean, a 30-game win streak last season. They were 2-3 at Grand Canyon, and then they ripped off 30 in a row until they hit Baylor in the tournament, in which they went toe-to-toe with Baylor. But anyway, that's last year. This year, in the now, 11-0, beating Penn State last night. And yeah, there was a lot of turnovers. Beating Penn State 74-60 at State College on the road. Yeah, on the road, 74-60 to go to 11-0. The men on the other side played the Harvard of the Pines. NAU came down the hill, as we say, and took on ASU here at Desert Financial Arena last night. And they get the 73-48 victory. And we'll hear from Coach Hurley. But, man, Masamba Diop, you want to talk about it, just an insanely extremely efficient night. He had 19 points. And again, he hits one more free throw. He's got 20 now, but he's been 3-4 line. What a phenomenal game by Masamba Diop, as 8 for 10 from the field, kids, and 3 for 4 from the line. As he had, so like I said, 19 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, and 1 block. Yeah. So, I mean, and again, they fed him the ball enough. You're going to hear Coach Hurley talk about, maybe should have fed him the ball a teeny bit more. But, I mean, and I was saying, just kidding around. I mean, yes, you got to mix the offense up. Every time down, I just would have started there, just throw it down to him and see what he could do. But yeah, they definitely had the height advantage, and so that in and of itself, you look at it, and I mean, 10 from the field, 3 for 4 from the line. Like I said, 6 boards. Three assists and a block, So and they had 40 points in the paint to NAU's 22. They did have 13 turnovers. Both teams have 13 turnovers. So I know Coach really thinking that maybe, a little too much. And again, like I said, we'll hear from him very shortly. But yeah, we'll get into more of that. But yeah, I mean, points wise, you look at, like you said, Chop with 19. Santiago Truitt had 12. Alan Mukeba had 10. The bench outscored ASU's bench outscored NAU's bench 33-3, my friends. So yeah, that in and of itself. But yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it's it's insane. Now, shifting to the women's side, so allegedly, I mean, look at the score sheets there. I'm not saying that they just created them, and I gone through the play-by-play. There were 66 turnovers in the women's game last night, but they still managed to put up 74 points. Not one team, but Penn State had 36 turnovers, and the Sun Devils had 30. And it seems, I don't know, way too high and way off. In my watching basketball, I'm not saying a team can't have a bad game, but for two teams to be that high, plus you had 3 total players foul out, 2 from Penn State, as Shayla Smith fouled out from Penn State, as did Shaylin Steele. They fouled out, and then Hale Marley Washington's fouled out of the game as well in 10 minutes. And pardon me, Martina Fantini had 4 fouls, but I mean, played 10 minutes as well. So a little bit of foul trouble there, but man, oh my goodness. Can you say hello game for Gabby Elliott? Again, another insanely super efficient night for a Sun Devil, as Gabby Elliott was 10 for 20 from the field, guys. Yeah, 50% overall. 2 for 5 from 3, so 40%, not bad. 5 for 7 from the line, as this team went on the road and shot 74% from the free throw line. Absolutely money. And like I say, at home, you better be up at 75%. On the road, if you can hit 70%, again, Coach, I'm sure will say that's too low, as they should, but I'm just thinking giving yourself a chance to win. But you shoot basically 75% around. Penn State's at 75% at home. So with the Devils, 33% from 3. They only took 12. They were 4 to 12. Obviously, that's 33%. But they shot 45% from the field. But like I said, 74% from the line, as they were 20 for 27. Like I said, Gabby Elliott, 27 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. But again, the turnover, look, the one thing, and again, not all rainbows and unicorns. I'm not going to ignore it. I mean, 30 turnovers. Elliott did have 7. I just struggle because it doesn't sound, I don't know. I just think, well, when they get back in town, or when we get to talk to them again next, but yeah, I mean, hell, they still forced Penn State to have 36 turnovers. But I mean, 10 for 20 from the field, 27 points. McKenna Brackens, she was 50%. She only took 10 shots, 5 for 10, 1 for 2 from 3. She was 4 for 4 from the line. Elisa Carrera had 4 points, and those were all. She was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So I mean, going down. I mean, Gabrielle, like I said, 5 for 7. Marley Washington, again, 4 points, but fouled out. It was in foul trouble. She was 2 for 2 from the line. Last year, Poa 1 for 2, and like I said, Carrera and Brackens both 4 for 4 from the line. Amaya Williams was 4 for 6 from the line. Fantini missed her to only 2 attempts from the line, but again, 20 of 27, 74% from the free throw line. Again, 30 turnovers, which is just. I mean, ASU, and I mean, that's crazy low because Penn State had 36 turnovers. And yeah, they had 36 turnovers, and ASU had 28 points off those 36. So, I mean, that's, again, you figure if you scored, I mean, even with a bucket every time, that'd be 72 points. I mean, they would have really blown them out. But, yeah, I mean, just this team, the way Molly Miller has this team, again, playing, like you say, you've seen 11-0. And, yes, I mean, hey, they can still go undefeated, kids. They can still go undefeated. But, yeah, you go on the road, and Penn State averaging just about 80 a game. Coach Miller posted that last night, and I looked it up yesterday after the show because, again, I was like, oh, I don't think I mentioned that. But, yeah, and they held them. And check this out, my friends. This is just crazy to me. Absolutely awesome. So Penn State's up 18-13 after the first, right? The second quarter, but I'm guessing they had a ton of those 36 turnovers. That second quarter, 4 points for Penn State to 20 for ASU. So they go into the second quarter down 5. They end up up by 11, 33-22 at half, and then they outscore them 26-16 in the third quarter. So it took Penn State 2 quarters to score what the Devils scored in the second, and then Penn State did outscore them 22-15 in the fourth, but that just shrunk it as they were up by 22, and then they won by 14. So, or 21. Because it was 59 to 38. Yeah, so they were up by 21, got outscored by 7, won by 14. Touchdown math. There we go. Anyway, my pitchfork lunchers. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, 35 boards. They did get out rebounded 39-35, but you look at points in the paint, 24-32. Bench points, ASU outscored them 20-15. Hanging right there in rebounds, 39-35. I mean, that is a hell of a road win. But to hold a team to 4 points, guys, again, at the major college level, to hold a team to 4 points, mind you not, that is just, I mean, that's crazy to me. Like, at the college level, 4 points. Like, yes, you can have bad shooting nights. You can turn a ball over a lot, but 4 points in a quarter. That is the hammer defense that Coach Miller's been talking about. So, yes. But, yeah, props to the game. Forks up, men's hoops, women's hoops. Way to get it done. Like I said, we're going to take a break. We're going to hear from Bobby Hurley coming up. We're going to hear from Bobby Hurley coming out of the break, and then we'll also hear from Alan Mukeba and Marcus Adams Jr. From post-game from last night. But we'll hear from Coach Hurley, and then we'll hear from the players as well. So got a lot more coming up. Going to hear from CJ Fight as well out of Sun Devil practice as they get ready for the Sun Bowl. So, yeah, don't go too far. When we get back, we'll have Coach Hurley coming right up here on Pitchfork Lunch.
Audio Jungle. it was great to get the win. Certainly wasn't our best performance coming off Saturday. I always worry about that. Just playing an emotional game at Suns Arena against a big SEC team like Oklahoma, and playing as well as we did in a couple of days, being ready to answer the bell again. First half was shaky. Bench were kind of the opposite of what they were on Saturday when they went in the first half, and kind of didn't perform at the level that they did on Saturday. But I thought the inside play was really the difference. I mean, literally, I just told the team that we got to have better recognition in games like this. That if we literally threw the ball inside every possession down the floor, we would have gotten a high quality shot of some kind in the possession. So don't think we did it enough, even though obviously Santi and Allen and Masamba all were very productive on the offensive end. We've been a low turnover team all year, and I think it's one of the better things that we do, and we really didn't take care of the ball, so that was frustrating as well. But the positive side is, Mo wasn't anything like Mo usually is at all. Like, just had one of those games, and we were able to more than survive that in this particular game.
What do you think the difference was in the second half, limiting them to 25% shooting?
We had a goal coming into this game, and it was more of how many points we were prepared to try and give up, and that goal was reached, and it was very close. It came down to the last possession.
Is it tough for guys to be as focused as you'd like them to be with the post-entry passes?
Yeah, we were a little sloppy when you're talking about our post-entries. Yeah, we a couple of times we had better position, and the ball was going off the post, where now they get an advantage back. Or I think Santi one time, we had Masamba on the baseline, but he threw it too low to the hands of where the defender was, instead of letting Masamba just go and get it. So I think some of it is potentially correctable.
Coach, with Mo scoring 2 points, do you think we were able to learn anything about his ability to impact the game without scoring, or about anyone else as a leading scorer?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his night, and he was fighting it and trying to find it, and he couldn't find it. First time since he's been here that he's looked like that. So, Coach Howard brought up a great point right after we broke in the locker room, that you could never tell that he was having that kind of game if you were on the bench watching how he was interacting with his teammates and in huddles, and when he wasn't in the game supporting his teammates. So that's what a real leader does. He doesn't get hung up on his own personal success and allow that to determine his attitude. He did a very good job in that regard, being a leader tonight.
Bobby, 10 games in, what do you think you know about this group?
We're feisty. I think we're resilient. We've had a bunch of games we've been down, and we've fought back and been able to find a way to win. We've now had 2 games where we got serious separation in the game, which is good to see that we are capable of doing that. Our defense is improving the last 2 games, so that is something that was very necessary coming out of Hawaii, because our offense was making very good progress, and our defense needed to catch up, and our rebounding. So to out-rebound them, I know they were undersized, and Masamba had a clear advantage, but we out-rebounded them by 16, and that's great, because that's something that's hurt us throughout the week.
Coach, with you running a lineup that consists of 3 players that are at least 6'11" in the starting 5, do you want to see more of these types of games planned from you guys, or you guys are playing a lot more inside out rather than kind of working through guards?
I mean, I told them, every team and what their roster looks like will determine what we need to do. I mean, certainly, Samba made things look really easy. I think he could still score against players comparable to his size. Allen, his physicality is a plus, getting to the basket. Santiago knows how to play around the basket. So getting those guys touches is important, because we gotta get points in the paint, and that's where everything starts. Certainly then we could kick out, and the 3-point line is a weapon for us as well, but we have to figure out a way to get those guys involved in the offense. Now, other nights it could be Mo, and Pig in transition and different guys and Noah, but like tonight we needed to focus on getting the ball inside.
After the Oklahoma game, you talked about how you wanted to see the squad improve and its ability to play with the lead. Do you feel like you saw improvements with that today?
I thought we came out ready. We were up 11-2, I believe, and started well. We just, when we went to the bench, it was just like the complete opposite of Saturday, where the bench came in and they really, performed at a high level. We didn't get that same type of production. Ended up losing the lead in the first half, but just kept plugging along. I didn't love how we started the second half either, but we were able to get separation that we needed in the game.
In your press conference at the beginning of the season, you were transparent about how you guys all saw that you were picked to finish last in the Big 12. This past week, you guys received 2 votes in the 8 people. What do you make of that, just given the environment and the chatter around this game?
I didn't put a lot of stock in it because I didn't think it was going to be a bad team or a team that couldn't win games. I liked the team's attitude. I liked a lot of the pieces we had. I thought some of the guys that we brought in were better than I even thought they were based on the film, watching them, the international guys. So I was like, all right, well, we're going to go play these games, right? And then we're going to see what happens. And that's kind of how it's played out to this point. Thank you, guys.
And there is head coach Bobby Hurley after last night's 73-48 victory. And like you said, I mean, it's in this day and age, like I always say, no, and it's not all rainbows and unicorns. We definitely, people understand that. But the one thing is like Coach Hurley said, looking at the matchup, and 73-48, and at halftime it was a 9-point game. ASU was up 35-26, but they shot 50% from the field last night, guys. 26 of 52. They were shot 50% from the field. They were 32% from the 3-point line. Yeah, not bad, but 68% from the free throw line. That was a tough one, as they were 15 of 22. But Trey was 2 for 3. Masamba Diop 3 for 4. Like I said earlier, Bryce Ford 1 for 2. Mo Odom 2 for 2. Pig Johnson 2 for 3. Marcus Adams Jr. 2 for 2. Mukeba was 2 for 4. Trevor Best was 1 for 2. So I mean, you see, 15 of 22. Like I said, 68% free throw wise for the game. Again, 75% at home, but you get the 33-3 bench outscoring last night there. And that is just, again, absolutely awesome, because when you look at what, again, Bobby Hurley talks about this, he mentioned, like he's been mentioned all season. I talked about it yesterday, but subbing guys out, like last year, he said, how certain players, how somebody might be when they come back in the game, but this team, I mean, bench comes in, rotation, getting Noah Musin back, and he's worked in, being that other point guard, and Pig Johnson going to his natural too. And on the way in the show, I showed you right before they went in from warmups, Mo Odom, who didn't have his typical game. I mean, he was 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 for 3, 2 for 2 from the line. So he had 2 points, but like Coach said right there, you didn't notice it in his demeanor. He was still leading the team, and we're going to hear Alan Mukeba and Marcus Adams Jr. Talk about that. So yes, but again, Mo Odom, absolutely awesome, and you see what like the bench did, and Mukeba and Marcus Adams Jr. had 8 points, and Alan Mukeba had 10 points off the bench. So we will hear from them right now after last night's, again, cruising victory over, Harvard of the Pines, NAU.
Well, the last couple of games, and no told us about how it kind of kicked you into shape and made you work a little bit. Can you kind of talk about like the difference in your game here recently and how long it took you to get back in the flow?
Well, I say it's because I was out of shape, and the past week, Mo and the rest of the team and staff have been pushing me to do extra work, extra sprints after practice, early morning workouts, and it's just, paying off by the day. So.
Alan, obviously you came into this game knowing you're going to have a clear size advantage. Did things go as well as you expected, or maybe took a little time to get into that groove?
I would say it took a little time for us to figure it out a little bit, but went back to what we were supposed to do and turned out well.
Marcus, I want to go back to the conversations that you had with Mo over this past week, getting back to Creighton. What's your bond with him like, and how important was his voice in that process?
It was super important. I kind of needed a teammate voice other than hearing a coaching voice. He was like, we need you. You're a key part of this team. We need you to work. And the same goes with Alan. We were both out at the same time, and we needed to get back in shape. And we both put a lot of work in, and thanks to Mo, which is a great bond we have, helped us and pushed us to be the best we can.
And given that, what has it been like reaping the rewards with these back-to-back wins and contributing on both?
Feels great. Feels great. Feels good. I can be part of the rotation more, do more, be part of the team more, and do some more and help us win.
Alan, it seemed like a game you guys knew that you guys were gonna have a size advantage inside, and you guys were attacking the paint consistently. When you being a more physical player, how did you feel going into the game, knowing that was kind of going to be the style of game you guys were going to try to play?
To be honest with you, I don't know, man. I just came here and was ready to play. I knew I had to dominate in there, got the ball, did what I had to do, and here I am.
Are you guys pretty pleased now? You're 8-9 games in, and the gel of the team and the cohesiveness. Are you guys pretty pleased with where you guys need to be and where you are?
I mean, it's always great to see the progress, for sure. Like you said, we were out for a long time. We just came back, and we were just trying to mesh with them, on our part, it was really like being back in shape. And what we got going on right now is just amazing. I can feel that we can be so special. So we're just giving our all and do what we got to do.
Can you guys talk about Mo? And Coach talked about how he didn't have a great game shooting the ball, but had the same demeanor. He's kind of your leader. Can you kind of talk about how you guys really take a cue off of him and how he kind of just impacts everything?
I mean, he a point guard. The point guard always got to follow the point guard because he's the head of the train, right? And today he didn't have a good game like the other games, 40 ball, whatever. But he was still a voice for us. It's not hard for us to listen to him. He always got a good speech for us. We're just ready to give it all.
With a few non-con games left, what do you guys want to see out of the next couple of games before your break and then starting conference?
We want to be undefeated in December. That's the goal we set as a team. We got Santa Clara next, UCLA, and Oregon State, and we want to beat those three teams and go into the Big 12 play with a head on the shoulders.
Do you guys feel like after the games you played against Oklahoma and then today, you guys are kind of on a good track to obviously complete your game?
Yeah, we could have. Yeah, we should have, did a little better. We had a goal, keep them under 49. We did that, but as a team, we could have a little rough first half, but we just got to keep on progressing and getting better.
Given your guys' roles within the offensive scores, what has it been like having Noah Bateson back in the lineup as a playmaker for you guys over this last month or so?
Just like a mini Mo. He's great to have. He's also a leader in the huddles. Sometimes when he gets subbed out, he's always coming in and he's telling us, hey, go guard this and that. He kind of has the same voice as Mo, and he's just been great to have him back. So.
For me, he's from Belgium, European point guard. Just glad to see that again, So, yeah, it goes well.
How far is the area he's from the area you're from?
On a good day, probably an hour, 10 minutes. He's from the north in Antwerp. I'm from the south.
That's not too far, though.
That's not too far, but yeah, you guys, America, it's a big country. Our country is even smaller than the state out here, so, but yeah, Texas is like this.
Did you guys know each other or play against each other or know of each other?
He's younger than me. I knew of him, never played against him though.
Alan, going from last week being in Maui, having Mo score 40, and then now to you guys, the top 4 scorers were either forwards or the center. What's it like to have a team that can score 1 through 5?
Well, It's like Coach said, you know, some games is going to be the guards. Some games is going to be the bigs. And today was the bigs, and we took advantage of that. So it's really about adapting to the situation.
Oh yeah, because Coach talked about rebounding being a very important thing for you guys after being in that league. Obviously, the last couple of games, are rebounding your opponents. And what do you guys make about some changes you guys maybe made, or how you guys have maybe improved that on the floor?
We just didn't want to lose. You know, we had the Maui championship. We just lost because of rebounds and effort. And then as soon as we got the pride, we've been doing what's called the Yukon drill. Yeah, it's a drill where coach throws and we have to fight each other, box each other out to go rebound the ball. So we just been really working and pushing each other to get rebounds so we can just close out ball games.
I don't know if you guys saw this past week, but your guys' squad received 2 votes in the 8 people. Given the way that people were kind of down on the team preseason expectations, what do you guys make of that? And what's your message to the rest of college basketball?
We're just here to play ball. It don't matter. It's just ranking, you know. We came from mid-majors, most of us.
All of us.
All of us. NAIA, JUCO. Just got that chip on our shoulder, so we just came here to ball.
You're going to get more votes. Once Big 12 play starts and once we get undefeated this December, we're going to get much more votes.
Sure. Anything else? We're good? All right, thank you guys.
Love it, love it, love it. Look at Mark Adams Jr. and again saying, you know, they have a goal, putting it out there, and yeah, they have a little bit obviously coming up. Like he said, they have. I mean, he just beat NAU, but then Santa Clara. That's Saturday. Pardon me. That's going to be in that's in Las Vegas, but 5:00, and that'll be on TNT, by the way. And then, like I said, December 17th, they had 2 Pauley Pavilion to take on UCLA. And then their last game of December will be the 21st. Actually, there's a doubleheader that day, men's and women's hoops at Desert Financial Arena. Guys, hello, get on out here, enjoy the both teams. As again, that December 21st, like I said, for the men is Oregon State, and for the women, is it the same? No, they're at Oregon State. So yeah, let's see. It is Colorado. They start Big 12 play. So Oregon State will be here, old Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac-12 foe on the men's side, and then Colorado will be here, and that's a 5 p.m. game. The men play at 1. The men play at 1 p.m. against Oregon State. The women play at 5. So right after that. So yeah, guys, make it a fun December 21st here at Desert Financial Arena. That absolutely is awesome. So yeah, you can. That's a Sunday fun day here with Sun Devil Hoops. Could the women be? Let's see. They would be 13-0. They could be 13-0 at that point. But again, 2 really tough ones coming up. They are at Oregon State, and then, like I said, this coming Sunday, this Sunday, and then Tuesday they are at Gonzaga. So they got home from again State College probably early this morning. Got home from State College early this morning, and like I said, they have Oregon State on Sunday. So today's Wednesday, Thursday. They'll probably leave Friday, and get up there, and then or maybe they leave Saturday, maybe the day before the game. I don't know. My guess would be Friday, but late Friday or afternoon Friday, not like early morning. When I say late, I don't mean like late night. And then I'll obviously go down to Spokane and take on Gonzaga. And then, like I said, on the 15th, that Sunday, come home for Colorado. So again, trying to see what they can do. They're at 11, and it is absolutely magical. So don't be bashful there, my friends. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, shift gears a little bit. We are gonna hear from CJ fight. But yeah, I love it. To wrap up, sorry, rewind for 1 second. I love what Marcus Adams Jr. said there. And I mean, everybody, Trevor Best obviously came in last year in December and saved the scholarship for him. He graduated early. And so he, got some playing time, told to do certain things, and just, coach putting him out there, and it was, again, definitely baptism by fire for Trevor Best. But yeah, a lot of these guys from, Division II, like you said, in AIA. So, like Coach Dillingham said last year, maybe, or before last season, the land of misfit toys and a bunch of misfits, allegedly. And, but again, these guys aren't, just the way they're gelling. Absolutely awesome. I love that. Try and go undefeated in December and then see where you go from there. But yeah, they are going to go into Big 12 play with, again, being tested and confident. And that is one thing. Again, confidence, as you always hear Coach talk about it, but to me, it cannot be underscored how many games confidence can assist you in winning and put you just over the top in some games where, again, it's close. And, if you're ahead big, not letting off the gas, staying up, stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. So we'll take a quick break. When we get back, Sun Devil defensive lineman, just, again, absolute beast of a season, beast of a career here so far. A little bit of decisions to make, but we'll hear from CJ Fight as, again, being out at practice as they get ready for the Sun Bowl, although just working more stuff on their offense and a lot of the younger guys working in, again, bowl practices, absolutely huge. So we'll step aside. When we get back, we will hear from CJ Fight here on Pitchfork Lunch. All right, back here on Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Carrotino at Diablo00 on XR, formerly known as the Twitter. Check out us live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, the IG, michael.carrotenuto.5. And then you can also, again, go to YouTube, guys. Watch live and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You got a lot to catch up on. Season 1, Season 2. We're rolling into Season 3. It's at Emmons and Michael V's and Victory Season Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. All right, now we're going to hear from CJ Fight. Again, Sun Devil defensive lineman who's just, again, blossomed, grown so much. I mean, you've seen it had the improvement, growth every year. So we get to caught up with him this morning after, again, Sun Devil practice, going to the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. And guess because they're great. I know, you got to do it. Cheesy or not, guys. And Sun Devil Nation, we are great. We're phenomenal. So anyway, but let's get to it. Here is CJ Fight post-practice today.
Long term? I've been praying, talking to my family a lot, trying to figure out what's the best move for me. So I should know pretty soon, and I'll make a decision from there.
What are some of the factors that would go into that decision?
Obviously stock, how the body's feeling, dynamic of the team, just things like that. I mean, I think it all plays a part. But I've talked to the coaches a lot. I know what it looks like coming back, so I'm just trying to figure out what it looks like if I were to go. So it's just a matter of just figuring out what best fits me, what's best fit for my future going forward.
You got your degree already, didn't you, in 3 years?
Yeah, I graduated. My graduation is on the 17th, so I'll get my degree in entrepreneurship December. Yeah.
Okay. I know your family's big on education, so was getting the degree in 3 years something you always wanted to do, just in case the pro thing was there too?
Yes, it was always like a goal of mine. Like you said, education's big in my family, so seeing that and knowing it was possible, and then the school set me up. My high school, I took college course in high school, and obviously the classes I took here kind of set me up to do so. So it's all working out. So however I want to go about it, whether I leave and I have my degree, whether I stay and get my master's, then I have a degree. So.
Do you have a tentative timeline for when you'd want to make a decision?
It's all God's timing. I think that's what really kind of messed me up at one point. I was trying to put everything on my time and trying to figure stuff out, have stuff figured out by a certain time. But at the end of the day, it's all God's timing. So just try to let Him speak to me and figure out what's going on. Try to have discernment in what He's telling me and figure out what He has planned for my life.
What's your take on your season? I mean, it seemed like you were double teamed a lot, and your take on the season that you had this year.
I mean, if you're not getting double teamed, it means you're not doing something right. So now that's my job to be able to make plays through the double team. So obviously there's a lot to get better at. So whether it's here or there, I feel like there's a lot to improve on, whether it's in the run or in the pass. I know what I need to work on, and I'm just going to keep learning on what I can work on.
Through this decision-making process, what kind of advice or support have you gotten from the
And there he is, CJ Fight. Yeah, I mean, and look, it's the coaching staff has talked to him, and again, he went on there. Unfortunately, full transparency, someone didn't charge their phone, and that's why the interview cut there. But pay attention to the rest of it. Don't worry. But yeah, no, he went on to say also, the coaches, he's been obviously talking with the coaches and, seeing where he's at. He's going to, like you said, his family and education huge. So no surprise, CJ is getting his degree here in 3 years. Like you said, he can come back and also come back and get his master's. So, and again, like everything's not set in stone. But yes, you talk about double teamed a lot this year, guys. You watched the Sun Devils, and you saw on the defensive line the success he had when he wasn't double teamed. But even being double teamed, taking up enough space so guys couldn't get to linebackers, just enough time to, got the linebackers making plays. Again, everybody doing their 111th, and CJ, again, taking on a ton of double teams like you heard right there. But, yeah, I mean, just family being big for him, and, still no Tank to Tempe, man. I wonder if Tank will be out for graduation. That's what we got to find. That's what I'm going to find out from CJ after the next practice, if Tank will be at graduation. So, yeah, that absolutely awesome. Stoked for that young man. And again, just always, friend of the show. And yes, we'll get him back on. We'll get him back on. No, it's there. But yeah, no, CJ Fight, was talking about that. And then just, coming in and, he committing to ASU, and then he had, decommitted briefly. And because obviously new coaching staff coming in, but once he got obviously, Coach Dillingham and then Coach Amy being an alum, out there, and then Coach Carrington working Texas, coming in like he did, and even Coach Samples when he was here, and then just recommitting and just being part of that that group. And he went on to say, once you get them, but you have good coaches, but getting them good guys, the fun they have. And again, I can attest to this, and we'll have him, like I said, we'll have him come on and talk about it too a little bit more. But the fun they have, just even in the film room when they're sitting there looking at stuff, and the personalities. And obviously a guy like, earlier in the season, I was talking to him after practice, and he's like, hey, Jacob's going to do the interview with me. So absolutely awesome. Love it. How Jacob, Kwangaika, just big personalities in that room, and Prince Dorba obviously won, and, Clayton Smith and Jacob, and, he's like guys you wouldn't expect. So we'll get some funny stories from CJ. You know, the ones he's able to tell. But yeah, no, just guys. A lot of so much. Everybody always talks about, oh, the eye test is acceptable here, but not here. Like, you watch how this defense is played. You know, hear from Coach Ward, Brian Ward yesterday, defensive coordinator, but how this defense is played. Again, just absolute money. So that in and of itself, my friends, so stoked for again, the career he's had. And again, yeah, selfishly, of course, Sun Devil Nation, we'd love him to come back, but his stock is rising, man. His dad, I've reposted things and that I've found, and I know his dad's seen and just posted. And again, like you said, it's in God's time, and leading the chapel services for not just football, but athletes and stuff, and just like you said, education and that. So yeah, it's been a treat to cover CJ. And again, it's just a bummer, no tank yet. But again, we still got time. Hopefully, we have more time, next season. But like you said, if he can go to the end, believe me, how this young man's not shooting up draft boards is way beyond me. So, nonetheless, though, guys, hey, that's going to wrap it for today, man. On Mike, what day is it? Hump day. Woo, woo. Yep, that's from Mama. As you guys know, it's from my mama. As that's her favorite commercial. Like I said, with my name in it. It took over, I'm saying, from Life Cereal. And, Mikey likes it. Mikey will eat anything. But, yes, so have a phenomenal rest of your Wednesday. Volleyball, like I said, they're in Kentucky. Tomorrow they play at, I want to make sure I get it right. They're playing Creighton. I mean, they're in Lexington, but obviously Kentucky in their bracket, the regional, as they play at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. That it will be on ESPN2. So when this show gets started, they will be in the thick of it. So I'll be giving you updates and all that. But 11 a.m. tomorrow. Again, number 3 Creighton, number 2 ASU. Forks up to Coach Van Neal, this phenomenal team. Again, Noemi Glover and Bailey Miller, and Colby Neal made the all-region, first team all-region as well. We'll get into that tomorrow. Again, Forks up. Congrats to them. Absolutely awesome. Well deserved, because it was well earned in the domination. And like I said, real quick before we get out of here, I mean, you think of the win streak. So they won their first game, first 2 of the season, dropped 1, then they won 4 in a row. Yeah, 4 in a row, and then they dropped 1 to Texas, and then they won. They won on a nice, wonderful streak. Of 12 in a row until they fell to Iowa State on the road in Ames in 5. And then after Iowa State, now they have taken another win streak. And they have hit double digits again. So that is 10 in a row for the Devils, who are just, again, so focused. Saw Coach Van Neal the other day, broadcast live on the show, Colby Neal on the show, talking about just what, this team is, yes, there is some experience there. I mean, Noemi and Colby with Oregon last year in the Sweet 16. A lot of the girls with the Devils went to the round of 32, but, like I asked Coach Van Neal, I mean, Bryn, Jillian, Colby's sister, obviously, Bryn, Jillian, Stella, and those three, they definitely had, they were on the Sweet 16 team as well. So, again, back there, Sweet 16, absolutely phenomenal. 11 a.m. though, ESPN2, number 3 Creighton. Let's get it rocking, kids. Let's get it rocking. So I will see you tomorrow. Again, same bad time, same bad channel during that game. So, yes, I will probably be going a little crazy or be I mean, not a little crazy, just absolutely pumped. So, again, Sweet 16, this team can make a run. But Creighton, again, it's going to be tough. And it's the little things. That's why I asked Kobe Neal, like, because Coach Van Neal had mentioned it. It's one of those things where, you know, you're back and forth. So it's, yeah, awesome. Also, by the way, hockey this weekend. I know I've slacked basketball, but hockey, again, Coach Powers and that team forks up, man. Again, Colin Potter, talk to him. And this kid just absolutely crushing it. But like Cruz Lucius, you know, Kyle Smolin, like Team Cat, like, again, awesome. They are at University of Minnesota Duluth. They are on the road this weekend, taking on the Bulldogs, an NCHC conference foe. So that being said, my friends, yeah. So hockey this weekend. We'll get to more of that tomorrow too. And go from there. So you guys have a phenomenal rest of your Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, you guys know it is #OurState. Thanks to reigning back-to-back Big 12 volleyball champs, the women's volleyball team, for, you know, making sure I was correct on that last season and continuing it this season. It is #OurState, team down south, just so you remember. And yeah, so you remember it is #OurState. Yes, go Devils. Again, forks up, Molly Miller, 11-0. Coach Hurley, 8-2. Women's hoops, men's hoops. Again, hockey, rocking it. Football, getting ready for the bowl game. So, yes. Yeah, you guys, again, have a phenomenal rest of your Wednesday. I shall see you tomorrow. But yes, go Devils, and you know it. As always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Funnel will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Red flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scatterboom. Scatterboom breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scatterboom is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. Of this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
This one the other way. It gets no going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls up and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.